All right, next bit. Let's get into it. Share this out. Share this out real quick. Let people know that we are live. I like this music. Okay. Share this out at 2 other places real quick. Blorb. Good day, dear viewers. You're watching Space News. I'm Blorb, and I'm here to bring you the latest news from across the galaxy. The Ministry of Tourism has tightened its rules for having picnics on Earth. Our special correspondent, Bubblegoo, I don't know, is reporting live from the scene. Hello, my adoring fans from Andromeda and Nibiru. Hi, your beloved Bubblegoo. I'm with you. Mr. Goo, get to the point. Please, airtime is expensive. Bye, Bob, my boy. Your star is fading. It's time for you to bask in the light of my supernova. Ooh, don't make me mad. Silence. It's my turn to speak. Earth is the favorite getaway for aliens of every ilk. But you must remember, humans must not know about us. So don't feed the humanoids, and before you leave the planet, gather your trash and then take it with you. Clark disguised himself well. Can't tell him between the difference in a human. Sweet. Got everything. Yeehaw, Cowboys, reporting live from Earth Farm, where an interplanetary travel company has placed an advertisement in one of the fields. Who would have thought it would attract the attention of the natives rather than its target audience? Let's investigate this occurrence firsthand. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing a true lover of aliens and a fan of you and me. In order not to frighten the locals, I'm going to use a disguise. Allow me to introduce our guest, a man who thinks he knows everything about us. He resembled an alien detector using a microwave oven, 3 plastic tubes, and a bag of chips. For years, he tracked the neighbor's cat, thinking it was an alien. Here's the honorary bearer of a foil cap, John. My name is Sean. Sorry, Sean. Tell our viewers what happened here. Incredible phenomenon. Crop circles. Aliens won't tell us, or want to tell us something. I'm sure they're getting ready to invade us. You and I are the only thing we're looking to invade are the wallets of tourists. You saw how carefully you examined the scene, Sean. John. My name's Sean. Whatever. Did you find anything interesting? I didn't. But if we keep looking, I'm sure we'll find more clues. What confidence, what perseverance. In that case, let's keep looking while we watch. Alright. Who knew that the crop circles could catch an alien? Okay. Nice. There we go. I think that's everything. Sweet. Orb. We continue the Ratcast live from Earth. Correspondent Bubblegoo is here to give you the scoop. Let me check this out. The Ratcast. Oh, that's it. Okay. Lifelong and prosperity to you, dear viewers. Presenting the incomparable Bubblegoo. We are undercover in the midst of intriguing cultural event that is known as the UFOlogists Convention. It's a celebration of life for every Earthling a fan of aliens. When Earthlings attend these conventions, they dress up as various fantastic creatures. This is what they think of you and I look like. Dear viewers, look, Blorb. Someone came to the party dressed as you. Gee, that is a rock. Exactly, what a striking resemblance. I don't know how the Earthling was able to be this accurate. And that brings us to the conclusion of, Blorb, are you serious? Why not take a closer look? I'm sure your viewers would be interested in watching these touching little humans. Indeed. The best part of coming to an UFOologist tournament, or not tournament, UFOologist convention, is we don't need to disguise ourselves. We can appear before humans in all our glory. They'll just think we're wearing an incredibly realistic costume. Sweet. Hey SQUIDzzz, it's the STADiA anniversary in 2 weeks, and it's the month. Celebrating it early. What's this guy doing? Are we doing a whole month? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. So I got these games to do, and then these other ones too. There's that tower one and Drawful, so if you want to play Drawful. And then play like Destiny 2. I still have all those other games too. I need to eat up and grind. Let's eat up all this food. Damn, there's a lot of food to eat. I'm gonna be fat. Yeah, I don't mind these games. It's actually, I like them. It's nice and relaxing. More food to eat. Yum, 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 yum.
Ammo.
Okay. Hey, what up, Papa Bear Gaming? How's it going, man? Nice to see you. Okay. Nice. I like the colors too. Looks pretty good. I like it. There he is. Oh no, that's not the person. Yeah, and there's more up here. Oh, there's a lot more people I gotta look for. I saw that guy up here. What's an alien with that? I'll find these wheels for. From the wheels, popcorn, dude. And that's it. And then the UFO. Alright, UFO guy, where you at? Doing, we'll do this bit. We'll do that. Then this last wheel, and this guy eating popcorn somewhere. Oh. And then this last guy's eating popcorn and the spaceship is hidden somewhere. So, let's see if we can find that guy. It's probably in an obvious spot too. I'm not seeing this guy eating popcorn. We're at the spaceship. Oh, there it is. Oh, the guy eating popcorn. Hidden in a tent. So that guy's last hidden in a tent. So many tents. It's intense. So start from up here. It's not in any of these tents. There's no other tents. This is like over here. Where's this tent? Alright, let's try going slow. Find it though. Check like every single time. He's not over here. I don't know. Oh. There he is. And then is that all the little aliens too, or just one? I feel like I'm missing a purple guy. Whatever. That's good. Huh. I'll do like one more level, I think. I'm Gray Brills. Today you'll learn how to survive. In one of the harshest places in the galaxy, I'm going to live for a week in conditions which a lesser creature wouldn't last a day. I'm going to Earth, a primitive planet on which the most intelligent races have only begun to develop. You're watching Galactic Survival. Stay with us. Mr. Brills, what can you tell us about the humanoids? Humans are a narrow-minded and dangerous race. They still drive nails into deals with a microscope, and it's almost impossible to survive a meeting with them. But nothing is impossible for Gray Brills. What else can you tell us? Tell our viewers. If you want to survive Earth, bring an umbrella. Alright, this will be the last one, then we'll switch to the other game. Boom. Come on. Okay. Come on. Oh, you can zoom out. Oh, that's cool. like that. Shit. Oh, I saw informed aliens left to go to other level. Damn. Here we go. Here's the last clue. Previously on Galactic Survival. Gray Brills went into dangerous wild wilderness known as Earth and took off in his spaceship and everything he would need to survive. But he couldn't even imagine what awaited him. Gray faced the most dangerous enemy in the system. Gravity. Will our hero extricate himself from this difficult situation? Of course, nothing is impossible for Gray Brills. Time to survive. And on that note, we need to get on out of here. Let's see. If I go... Oh, I got everything. 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Okay. Good. Let's go back. I thought I did. Anyways, we'll come back more with this. This is pretty fun. I'm gonna try the Tangle Tower now. Try that out. The beginning. Tangle Tower, mid-afternoon. Big sketch.
It's a bird. Just rainwater? Looks a little weird.
Oh, just for a second. Let's see, looked it.
The birds seem to like it.
Sweet.
They're even singing a little tune. Toot, 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 toot.
Please don't do that.
What are they?
Wind chimes. Silent, wooden wind chimes.
You ready, Sally?
Brimore, I've been standing here for 7.5 minutes.
Just checking.
Do you have the map?
Yeah, but it's basically blank. Did you read the case file? What do you think?
I'm not sure yet. It's really not a lot to go on. Did you read it?
Yeah, I'll read it on the way to the crime scene.
Case file: murder victim Rhea Fellow died whilst painting a portrait of Laura Fellow. Location: Forest Tower. Laura was present as she was posing for a portrait. Rhea was found lying on her back with a single stab wound on her chest. The weapon was found at the scene, but subject of Rhea's unfinished painting is holding a knife. The red color of the tip of the knife was not painted. That was discovered to be black. Tangle Tower, a small painting of a scrap of paper. A few notes have been written on the back. Nowadays it goes by Tangle Tower, but it's actually a pair of towers connected by a mansion at the base. It's surrounded by a circular lake. The water is an unusual mix of colors. The lake is enclosed by sheer, pale cliffs. They're too steep and smooth to climb. Tangle Tower is currently home for both the Fellow family and Pointer family. Let's see.
It's a garden,
It's a garden.
I think. It's currently far away.
We could walk closer to it.
Ready when you are.
Oh.
And it's full of the same weird water that was in the lake.
Any fish in there?
Not a single one. Although there is something in there.
It's a cassette tape. Or it used to be.
Okay. So the tape has been damaged by water. The ink is on the label is blurred and illegible. Good. Alright. Interesting.
Oh.
What?
Oh, there's an O on the floor.
Oh yeah, Tangle Tour.
Twir. Oh.
What?
Oh.
Oh yeah, Tangle
Twir.
Should we ring the doorbell?
Why would we not? It's a little melody. think it's locked. I'm pretty sure that's the rule, yeah.
Okay.
Little bird feeders.
How do you know they're for bird? Let's head to the crime scene first. It's at the top of the West Tower, I think.
Whoa. Interesting.
Let's take a look at that painting first. There it is. The unfinished portrait of Flora Fellow.
So, what? Freya was killed halfway through painting it?
Looks that way.
I wonder if all of Freya's paintings are this creepy. Maybe it's just because she never got to finish it.
There's something wrong with the crime scene. And something really weird
Or
about the
now it's
murder
like a
weapon.
cutscene thing.
We didn't find a murder weapon.
That's cool.
Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood because Freya put it there. Almost. Maybe just change one thing. Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood because it stabbed Freya.
What?
Weird, huh?
You think Freya was stabbed by a painting? Not by the woman from the painting, but by the painting itself.
Mm-hmm. Freya was standing right up by the canvas when she was killed. There's blood on the knife. It's the murder weapon.
Right, but it's not actually a knife. It can't stab.
See any other knives around here? Case closed.
The case is not closed. And even if you were right, where does that leave us? A painting can't be a murder suspect.
An unfinished painting. This is pretty. I like this so far. Talk to this girl. Like, who are you?
Flora Fellow?
Hey, sorry to barge in. I'm sure you're still in some distress.
We need to ask you a few questions, I'm afraid.
Kill
Did
her?
you witness the murder, Flora?
Nothing. What do we do?
Not sure. She's entitled to her silence, I suppose.
For now. Flora Fellow?
Hey, sorry to barge in. I'm sure you're still in some distress.
We need to ask. Is there anything you'd like to tell us, Flora? I don't really know anything about you at all.
I think that's the way she likes it. We'll just have to ask other people about her.
Yeah, okay.
Freya was painting your portrait yesterday. Is that right?
Was this something you had planned with her ahead of time?
Was there something special about yesterday?
Did you talk to Freya at all while she was painting you?
She's not going to answer us, is she?
Nope. But at least we can say we tried. Flora, you were definitely in the room at the time of the murder. Surely you must have seen something? Can you tell me anything about what happened to Freya? She's acting pretty suspicious if you ask me.
I don't know. Maybe she
Yeah.
really doesn't know anything.
How is that
She's suspicious
possible?
as shit. Not saying nothing.
Sir? Can you hear me?
Is anyone gonna
I'm
talk in
Private
this
Detective Grimoire.
besides these
I have some
people?
questions for you.
Grimoire. Good mysterious name. I'd rather like it. Felix Fellow at your beck and call.
And, this is my colleague, Sally.
Yeah, that's a perfectly good name as well.
Thanks.
If you would, Mr. Fellow, we really need to ask you about the murder.
Well, I must say I'm rather jealous of you two.
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
Out here solving mysteries, exploring new places, uncovering secret rooms, hidden treasures. That's what life is all about.
Secret rooms?
Generally speaking, you know, that sort of thing.
Let's see.
So, Felix, what exactly do you, do?
Is it not obvious? I'm an explorer. Explorer slash treasure hunter. Yes,
Not
well,
obvious.
best in the world.
We're talking like curse statues, spike pits.
It's a little more sophisticated than that. But I've certainly seen my share of danger, if that's what you're asking.
And, if I may ask, when did you retire?
You listen here. I may be between ventures right now, but it's simply not in my nature to stay in one place for too long. I go wherever the winds of destiny take me.
Don't you live here with your wife and daughter?
Yes, well, the Fellow family has certain loyalties, and with Flora the way she is...
Nothing wrong with raising a family, Mr. Fellow.
Don't misunderstand me. Fiona and Flora are my entire world. They are the greatest treasure of all.
Uh-huh.
Why on earth would you want to know about that?
The murder of Freya Fellow. The reason we're here?
Ah, right. Nasty business. Very unfortunate. I regret that I can't be of any help, but I wish you all the best in your investigation.
Hear that, Grimoire? We're done here. Let's go.
It's a simple question, Felix. I'm sure you're up to it.
Well, there's not much to tell. Mostly, I was in my room by myself, working on Flora's, working on a project.
Your room is quite close to Flora's tower. You didn't hear anything unusual?
What qualifies as unusual?
What have you got?
It was dusk. A feeling lingered in the air. Malevolent, perhaps. Uncertain, as life itself.
Abridged version, please.
Right, fine. I heard someone heading down the stairs, just outside my room. The footsteps were calm, orderly, so I thought nothing of it. Shortly afterward, I heard a second set of footsteps, going the same way. This time I could tell just from the sound that something was wrong. So I looked out into the hallway. I got a glimpse of Poppy disappearing down the staircase to the floor below. Didn't know what to make of it, to be honest. I thought perhaps she'd had a disagreement with Fitz, as I know those two are close. So I looked into his room, just in case, but it was empty, as was the garden beyond his window. Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her. We went into Flora's room. Poor Freya was laying on the floor. Fiona, Poppy, Fitz, and Pointer were there already. Flora, too, of course. Soon enough, everyone else made their excuses and left.
Including you?
Not I. I stayed. Flora needed me.
Interesting. He goes back to sleep.
That painting is really something.
Why would you want it looming over your bed like that?
Maybe Freya enjoyed the atmosphere it creates.
The atmosphere of chaos and oppression?
Hang on. There's a smaller...
It's a photograph. It's Freya's bed. A little bit messy.
It's a perfectly healthy...
Curious. I would expect bacteria of that nature to thrive in these conditions.
Excuse me.
Taking all the environmental factors into account, there must be something I am still missing.
May I talk to you, miss?
She knows we're here. She just doesn't care.
I am a detective, and I need to talk...
Correction. You do not need to talk to me.
Oh no? How come?
Because I am not a suspect. I am completely innocent of any and all crimes.
Thanks for letting me know.
Speaking of which, you have now been at Tangle Tower for over 23 minutes. Surely you have already reached a sturdy hypothesis.
A hypothesis?
No.
About the murder?
Yeah, come on, Grimoire, hurry up.
My apologies. Unfortunately, protocol dictates I must at least meet all the suspects. And that includes you. So, could you tell me your name?
Fifi Fellow, microbiologist, inventor, innovator. You will need to be more specific. Oneself cannot be summarized in a single response without doing one a great disservice.
So true.
Well, first of all, you're a fellow. So does that make you the daughter of...
Correct. My father and mother are named Flora and Felix, but you need not question either of them. It will only waste valuable time. Neither of them are capable of murder.
Thanks for the tip.
Fifi, you said you were a micro... something or other?
Microbiologist, but it is an insignificant label. My studies cannot be categorized in any one recognized field.
What made you want to become a scientist in the first place?
I harbor an intrinsic fascination with the microscopic. I constructed my first one at age 10.
Constructed a microscope?
Correct.
And what's that thing on your head? Did you make that too?
My eyesight began to deteriorate when I turned 12. Not satisfied with the eyeglasses prescribed to me, I designed this custom lens instead. It automatically adjusts based on the surrounding light conditions.
Does it glow red when you get angry?
No, but that would be most amusing. What can you tell me about the murder?
What can you tell me about... Wait, that's what I'm supposed to ask you.
Yes, however, you were too slow.
You fancy yourself a detective too, Fifi?
I just need to know what happened.
Me too. So talk.
Fine. I knew ahead of time that Freya was going to be busy with her painting all day, so I had planned to spend the afternoon with Poppy. I was in the library all morning preparing the equipment for an experiment, only to find out that Poppy had made other plans and she was in fact planning to ignore me completely.
Oh.
So what did you do instead?
I locked myself in my room and cried.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Why?
I don't know, it just sounds kind of sad.
It is not unusual.
Oh. Good.
I was in my room. The lights were off and the door was locked. Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me. I opened the door. Poppy came into my room. Her makeup was leaking. She told me Freya was dead. I did not believe it. I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face.
Damn.
She insisted that we go up to Flora's tower. We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs. When I saw Freya lying on the floor, I was completely and utterly devastated. Then, I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting. Poppy and I took the sample back downstairs to the library. We performed a test and found out that it was, in fact, blood.
You performed that scientific test immediately, even though you were feeling so upset?
Of course. Why would one affect the other?
Fifi's bedroom should be unlocked now.
Can't wait.
It looks like a microscope, a big one.
Can I touch it? I'm not sure this is a microscope.
I guess that's wrong.
The 4 lenses all have different magnification strengths. So they must each have a specific position along the rail.
Nope.
You need to magnify different parts of the Looks like you might need to overlap.
Nothing.
You want to start by finding the or vice versa.
Nothing.
You want to start by finding or vice versa.
I don't like this. This part kind of sucks.
Nothing.
You want to start by finding or vice versa.
I can't close that gap though. Can we just not get it? I feel like this is how that goes. Max position there. And then I could do it that way. There we go.
Nothing.
You want to close or vice versa?
That's not it.
Reset the puzzle. Just gonna rest my brain. That's a whole lot of...
Okay, we got that for another person. We switched happening. Go live here. Kidding.
Shh, listen. Do you hear them? The stars. They're whispering. So quiet, and yet so loud.
What are they whispering about? Are they spreading rumors about us?
I shouldn't think they concern themselves with such insignificance.
Alright, let's
We
see.
are but specks of dust, you and I.
Mm-hmm. Could this speck of dust start by telling me his name?
You find yourself standing in the astronomy tower of one Professor Percival Pointer.
Seems like this tower belongs to the Pointers, and the other one belongs to the Fellows.
Well observed, my dear. Tangle Tower is something of a duality, as it happens. Meaningless boundaries, really. They exist only in our minds.
Helpful.
Me? Not much to say. Strictly speaking, I'm the current head of the Pointer family. And of course, father to my precious Poppy.
And a professional astronomer?
And
Oh no, that's just a little hobby. I mean, yes, I've studied the stars for over 35 years, published 17 books.
Just a little hobby.
Sounds like you're quite well known. You must bring in a good amount of money.
Oh dear me, no. My field of research has never yielded any kind of stable financial return, nor would I expect it to. I am nothing but a humble interpreter for the cosmos, working to translate its message so that I may share it with the world.
Cool. Tell the cosmos I say hi.
The day began as any other, with blissful, unremarkable routine. I took my usual morning walk around the gardens. Fresh air does wonders for the mind.
Did you see anyone else?
Penelope and Fitz were in the greenhouse together. I didn't bother them, of course. I sat for a while besides the pond in the garden. It's a favorite spot of mine. Eventually, I returned to my tower and buried myself in my studies for the afternoon.
Did you use your telescope yesterday?
Once the stars began to appear, naturally.
For how long?
I can't say. I've been known to lose hours at my telescope.
Did you see anything?
No actual discoveries, if that's what you mean.
So you were all alone up in the astronomy tower. Must have been a while before you found out what had happened to Freya.
Quite. Normally, I would be the last to find out about such a thing. But a curious tug of fate led me towards the fellow tower later that evening. I was at my telescope for the majority of the evening, but at one point I returned to my desk to look something up in a reference book. I couldn't find the book I wanted, so I figured Fiona must have
monster
borrowed it.
down.
I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall. I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library. She looked
I might say
impatient
Drawful
and
2 for a
slightly
special
frustrated.
time,
Same as ever then?
but I think 4 of them
Quite.
is pretty
I
good for
passed her
today.
by and went
Let me see.
upstairs
Yeah.
to Fiona's room. The door was locked, but I could hear shouting coming from inside. I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter. I had no desire to invade their privacy by eavesdropping, so I waited for them to finish and come out into the hall. Before I could ask about the book, Poppy grabbed my hand and took me upstairs along with Fiona. It was apparent that both of them had already been crying about something. We went up to Flora's tower. Freya was laying on her back, right in the middle of the room. Flora and Fitz were already there. They both looked stoic as ever. Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did, and then Fiona went downstairs with Poppy for some reason. I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Why did you leave so quickly? Wasn't there anything you could have done to help?
Don't take this the wrong way, but the whole ordeal is fellow family business. I'm quite sure they don't need me getting in the way at a time like that.
That's fair.
You know, I've always... I would look at it.
Wait a minute. Earth in the middle. Sun on the outside. How old is this thing? Nothing.
So there are two. Rotate the planets.
I guess that's wrong.
I think you just need to get the shadows to line up with the shape on the base.
Oh.
Nope.
The sun and moon. The shape on the base is symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which is which.
Nope.
The sun and the shape on the base is symmetrical.
Nope.
The sun and the shape on the base is symmetrical.
I don't know.
I'll do this later.
Oh, alright. Let's see what happens here.
Oh, just beautiful. What is it?
Huh?
Sort of a delicate jade, but with a little seafoam green, is that right?
Sorry?
Your hair, dear! Which shade do you use? It's
Right.
lovely. And that shape, you're really pushing the envelope.
Oh, thanks. I do what I can to offset Grimoire's beige on brown ensemble.
Detectives don't need to be brightly colored. We prefer to blend into the background.
Oh, you're the detective? Delightful. Penny Pointer, pleasure.
Is that short for Penelope?
Officially, yes, but I never can be bothered with all 4 syllables of it. Penelope sounds a little ostentatious coming out of the mouth, don't you think?
Sure. Yeah.
20-something, Aquarius, love to travel, and nearly all of my friends are birds.
Travel? Where to?
Anywhere at all, as long as it has species worth studying. Ornithology, they call it. I call it the only thing I've ever been good at.
And have you studied the birds here at Tangle Tower?
But of course! Where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle Tower.
Because of the birds.
Oh, no, because of him! Silly to admit, but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, don't you know? My fiancé, dear Fitz. He's not really the traveling type, you see.
Fitz fellow.
The very one.
You're engaged to a member of the Fellow family? That's interesting.
I'm not especially interested in whatever tedious feuding goes on between our 2 families. Fitz and I find it much easier to stay out of it altogether. I awoke early and headed down into the greenhouse to see Fitz. He's always there, crack of dawn, every morning like clockwork.
How come?
It's where he's happiest. That, and he has a great deal of work to do every day, watering, pruning, mulching, whatever that is.
Do you help him with the work in the greenhouse?
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I'd probably break something.
So, you stayed with Fitz the whole day?
No. In the early afternoon, he went back inside. Rather suddenly, as it happens.
Did he say why?
He didn't. Probably just a touch of heat stroke, the poor dear. He's more delicate than you'd think.
What did you do after that?
Let's see. I returned to the aviary to feed my birds.
And how many birds are you responsible for?
Officially 4, but in truth it's more like 400.
Can they not feed themselves?
Of course, and they often do. But I think they just like the company. As do I. Sometime in the evening, I left the aviary and headed back towards my room. But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. He was muttering something. Seemed a bit upset, the poor dear. I followed him down, but the grand hall was empty by the time I got there. Empty aside from Detective Hawkshaw, who was loitering over by the library. I don't know what it was, but she looked a little lost. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the Fellow Tower. I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path. For some reason, he was coming out of Fitz's bedroom. He looked rather lost, too. I told him I was looking for Uncle. He suggested we look up in Flora's tower room. We could see from the hallway. The door was off its hinges. I knew then something was terribly wrong. A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya. Uncle Pointer was there. Fitz, too, standing over in the corner with Fifi and Poppy.
What about Flora?
Of course, silent as ever. Uncle suggested we should leave. Give the others some space, you know. So he and I both returned to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Interesting. We got a couple more rooms to go.
We can
These
get into
puzzles are
Penny's
crazy.
room now.
Now, like, right now?
That's some flower.
There's something weird about it. It just feels out of place. It's a birdhouse.
Are those real birds? Nope. They're
Oh,
wooden.
kind of-
They're using up all the
Look at
perches. What if a real bird wanted?
Nope.
There must be some logic to how the birds... Something to do with those white lines.
Oh, no.
Nothing.
I think the birds are...
I guess that's
It's a family tree. The colors and eyes combine as they go down the family line. You'll need to start with blue and yellow at the top.
I guess that's wrong.
It's a family tree. You'll need to start with blue and yellow at the top.
I guess that's
It's a family tree. The colors need to start with blue and yellow at the top.
I don't know. What game is this? Tangle Tower. What's up, man?
I got it.
There it is.
I'm impressed.
We got a puzzle. We got one
The
done.
door open?
What's in there? Oh, get her. What? Now I'll get her. Oh shit. I just cracked the murder. Come on, this got spicy. Oh, nice. Music. Oh.
Are you a ghost?
Sally!
Damn!
Unless she
That's
is a
fucked
ghost.
up.
It may come as a disappointment, but I am alive.
Ah,
That makes you a suspect, I'm afraid.
I know.
what's your name?
My name is Poppy. I'm a pointer. And a pianist.
We'll need to ask you a few questions about Freya.
I know.
Hey, you're pretty good.
All in the wrist. And 13 years of dedicated practice. I'm just me. There's nothing to know.
How are you related to the other pointers?
My father is Percival Pointer. The professor spends most of his time hidden away in his tower. Barely speaks to anyone these days. Especially not the fellows.
Do you get on with the fellows?
2 of them. Fifi and Freya are my closest friends. We all turned 19 last year.
Do people ever leave Tango Tower? I don't mean to be rude. It's just, if you're 19...
You don't have to answer that, Poppy.
It's a fair question. I'd like to move away, definitely. Fifi, Freya, and I would often talk about it, argue about it. Freya wanted to leave, but Fifi... things are more complicated for her.
What about now?
After what happened, I really don't want to stay here much longer. Three and a half hours of piano practice, soon as I wake up. Same as always.
3.5. Does that not hurt your hands?
Sure.
And you do this in the music room?
No, I prefer to practice in my room. When I make mistakes, I like to make them in private.
What did you do after that?
I was supposed to meet Fifi in the library, but I totally forgot. When I finally got down there, she'd already gone. I checked her bedroom, but it was locked.
Was Fifi not in there?
No idea. She keeps her door locked either way. So I went back upstairs and out into the moonlight garden.
The what?
The little garden on the roof outside my room.
Was it just you up there?
No. Fitz came outside after a while. His room's on the other side. He's been teaching me about flowers.
So, did you talk to him?
Not really.
You ignored each other.
I didn't say that. Fitz and I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon.
Okay.
Then we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds. I've been trying to decide how to describe it, but I'm struggling. It was like something drilling into a piece of metal, but different. Worse. I was pretty sure it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there to check. Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. I knew Freya and Flora were both supposed to be in there, so I made Fitz kick down the door. I went inside. Freya was lying on the floor.
Flora was in the room too?
Yeah. I think she realized what had happened at the same moment I did. I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi. Her door was still locked, but I knocked and shouted at her. Eventually, she let me in. The lights were off, but I could see she'd already been crying. I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry. First time I've ever seen her angry. I dragged her out into the hall. My father was there too, for some reason. The 3 of us went back up to Flora's tower. Then Felix arrived. He had Penny with him. Fifi had this idea. She wanted to do some kind of scientific test. She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes. After she was done, she went back upstairs and I went back to my room.
That's it?
That's it.
All right. Poppy's bedroom is
I
unlocked.
wonder what's in there.
Alright. Let's see. It's a gas lamp. Very light.
It's an octopus.
No, it's not. It has 6 legs, not 8. Don't say it.
Sextopus.
Sextopus.
It's a metronome for keeping time.
Oh,
It's ticking. Is it a bomb?
It's supposed to be ticking. Not sure what those symbols are, though.
There we go.
There we
Aha.
go.
Perfect. What happened?
Little hatch unlocked in the back.
Anything in there?
Mm-hmm. Part of a photograph.
Hmm. Let's see.
Whoa. Nice cape.
You're not fellows or pointers. I'm sure I shall immediately regret asking. But who are you, and what is your business here?
I'm Sally, and this is my sidekick, Grimoire.
A private detective, Grimoire.
Really? You're a detective. If this is a joke, it's not a good one.
Who are you, anyway?
Private Detective Hawkshaw.
Oh, nice. Hawkshaw's a cooler name than Grimoire. Maybe I'll become her sidekick.
You're not on the Freya Fellow case, too, are you?
That is classified information between myself and my client. Clearly, this is something which eludes you. But a real detective refrains from handing out informations to persons unknown.
Oh, right.
Now, if you would, I have work to do. It's
Okay,
not in my
what's the
interest to
task
discuss personal details.
Even if you're one of the suspects in a murder?
Very well. Let us make a small exception. Ask.
Oh, what are you doing here?
I'm on a case at the behest of my client.
How long have you been at Tangle Tower?
133 hours. 5.5 days.
Who are you working for?
I am not at liberty to answer that. Now, I shall permit you one more question.
What crime are you...
How'd you get that scar? It's cool.
You really think so?
No.
As it happens, I completed an examination of Flora's room on the morning before the murder. I've been investigating every single room at Tangle Tower. Hers was one of the last on my list.
Did you find anything unusual?
Nothing but a thin layer of dust and an atmosphere of somber melancholy.
Was Flora in there at the time?
She spent the duration of my search staring up at the sky, out the open window. Didn't say a word, although I'm told this is the expected behavior.
What did you do after that?
I spent the early evening searching the library. It took longer than it should have. Fiona leaves that room in a permanent state of disarray.
Fiona was in the library too?
I expected her to make an appearance, but she did not.
And you stayed in the library the rest of the day?
Not quite. Towards the early evening, my examination of the library was unexpectedly disrupted. Sounds of running, wailing, shouting from several floors above. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared. He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. Our eyes met. He was breathless. Something had caused him great alarm. He told me to stay out of the way. I consented. I decided to return to my office in the stone square. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. She was clutching the banister of the Pointer staircase with an apprehensive manner. She wished to know where Professor Pointer had gone. I told her what had transpired. Then, she too crossed the hall and disappeared up the fellow staircase. More so than at any moment prior, I felt like quite an intruder in the house. I took my leave, out towards the stone square. The grounds were silent. There were no signs of human life. Even the greenhouse was without its typical inhabitant. I noted that he, too, must be entangled in whatever was transpiring in Fellow Tower. An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance. He spoke to me of what had occurred. His report was as clumsy and cumbersome as the man giving it.
Did he seem upset?
He was rattled. That much was clear. But sorrowful, mournful, I cannot say.
It's Tangle Tower, or at least it's the mansion at the base of Tangle Tower. Is that a clock?
If it is, it's a...
I'm guessing it doesn't tell the time.
So what does it do?
Nope.
So moving any of the hands turns these like cogs on a machine.
I guess that's wrong.
Did you work out what direction each hand? Each one ends with a little hoop. Try looking through the...
Nothing.
It's just numbers on a bar on the right, 6 on the bottom, 9 on the left, and 12 on the top. You only need 90-degree angles. That should make it.
Nothing.
It's just numbers. 3 on the right. You only need 90-degree angles.
No, that was it.
Nice work. What's in the box?
A little tool thing, but I'm not actually sure what it is.
Let's see.
That's a handsome beetle. Looks like he might have magic.
This one's in a little pot.
Okay, that is
It
definitely.
looks like a gemstone, don't you think?
Tools used by a gardener. For gardening.
Sally, don't move.
Who's that guy?
We're being watched.
Yeah, I see him. He's a little too big to hide in the bushes. Is anyone going to say anything? Or shall we just stand around staring at each other?
Right, sorry.
Sorry.
That's better. I'm Sally. And the guy hiding behind me is Detective Grimoire. Who are you?
Fitzfellow, the gardener.
Mm-hmm. And why are you so tall?
I don't know.
That's also kind
You
of
work here as the
a
gardener.
question.
I don't get paid to do it. It's just my area of interest.
What's the deal with the plants? They're all kinda weird.
Right. Did you see the lake?
That giant green and purple lake surrounding the entire house? Yeah, I clocked it.
The color is just a byproduct.
Of what? poison?
It's not poisonous. Not to you.
What's this got to do with the plants?
The water controls all life, just like anywhere else on the planet. Clouds form, rain falls. The water grows the plants, animals eat the plants. Anything you've perceived as an irregularity is simply a result of this hydrological cycle.
Could you say that again, but like condense it as if you were talking to a slightly stupid person?
Our lake water causes the unpredictable alteration of DNA. Sometimes.
Alteration? Like mutation?
That'd be the official term. For us, it's normal. Just nature.
And you're the local expert on all this stuff?
No. I'm just the gardener. I was in my greenhouse, watering and weeding.
Sounds exciting.
Was anyone else around?
Not at first. Penelope came in a little later. She likes looking at the flowers, I think.
Did you speak to each other?
A little, not too much. We both left the greenhouse in the early afternoon. I went up to my room. Then I came back outside to weed the main gardens. Didn't see anyone else. After that, I went up to the garden outside my room.
And?
Let me guess. Watering and weeding.
Right.
Did anything happen to you yesterday, Fitz?
I was up in the rooftop garden. It was quiet. And then, it wasn't. I can't describe it. Could have been a scream, but it didn't sound human. We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
We?
Poppy was with me. Did I not mention that? Flora's room was locked. That's normal. She usually locks it from the inside. I knocked on the door and shouted. Nobody responded. We became concerned.
You kicked the door down?
I did. Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back. Flora was there too, but I barely noticed her at first. Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too. Penelope arrived shortly after that, with Felix in tow. I thought that was odd. You don't normally see the two of them together. Felix took charge. There was nothing else I could do to help. I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything. I found her pacing back and forth around the stone square. When I approached her, she snapped at me. I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
Fitz's room is unlocked. It's up in the...
This could be interesting.
Nothing in here.
That's all the statements.
Let's go over them all. That's all the statements collected. Let's run through them all to see if anything doesn't add up.
To see if anyone's been lying.
That too.
Fitz and I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon. Then I heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. So I made Fitz kick down the door.
Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back.
I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall.
But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs.
I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared.
I didn't know what to do. So I ran downstairs to get Fifi.
I heard someone heading down the stairs. Just outside my room.
Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me.
Eventually, she let me in.
I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library.
He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower.
I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry.
I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face.
I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter.
We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs.
I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path.
Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her.
Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too.
Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did.
A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya.
Then, I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting.
She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes.
I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything.
An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance.
I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long, but when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
That's disappointing.
What is?
All the statements line up with each other.
They don't just line up. Some of them even seem to specifically confirm each other. Is that a crown?
I think so, except it's got a tape.
It's also got a big crack down the middle.
What about the cassette tape?
Yeah, it sure is. Pink.
Do you think it still works?
The gramophone?
Is that an egg? An egg.
It's also what a completely ordinary.
I think it's a container for
Those gems look like they come off. Nope.
Did you check the clue on the back of the egg? I'm pretty sure it explains where to put each of the gemstones. It's some kind of clue about where to...
I guess that's
What's
wrong.
the deal? Must mean something.
I got it.
I'm impressed. Did it unlock?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Well, I'm not the empty egg is a clue, right? Freya's painting supplies. Freya's painting supplies. The outline. There's a single. No real sign.
That's weird.
What?
Her feet.
So?
So she was probably standing really
Let's
close.
check the case file again. There's a no.
That's weird.
What?
Her feet were right, so she was
Let's
probably.
check the case file again. Supposedly, looks like
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush. A bunch of old books covered in dust now, but I don't know if you can call the sudden absence of wall.
a little pot plant.
It's the only plant.
That's the only door.
It's also
Sure is. Guess.
a bunch of old books covered in dust now, but they look.
An empty glass.
Looking at
Why?
it, I don't know.
It's a little handmade. Inside it says, to fit.
That poor plant.
Looks pretty.
Healthy. I think it would rather be outside.
Doesn't look soft.
Hello.
Not hidden very.
Doesn't need to be. It's locked. It's a combination lock. Sort of. Nothing.
Maybe if you move the paper around, you'll find a clue.
I'm gonna tell you.
Still locked.
I think the lines drawn on the paper correspond with the shapes in the combination lock.
I'll come back later.
All right, well, it's time to take a break. Be back more with some more games, but we'll save Drawful 2 for later this month. But thank you, Jeff Janak, Papa Bear Gaming. I can't see for coming on by. Appreciate all you guys. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out, SQUIDzzz out. Bye.